Hi kids, Ross at Dell's Garden Center here. Hey, I don't know if you've been outside in the rain lately, but you know, it's kind of one of those things that's kind of fun. You really should be out in the rain every now and then just to experience it, just pretend you're a little kid. But anyway, it's sprinkling lightly here at Dell's Garden Center. What we want to talk to you today about is pollinators. Now, when I was a kid, we used to have a lot of milkweed around, and I think it used to be on the noxious weed list, but now there's so much being talked about as far as pollinators that now I can even sell common milkweed as a plant that we have that is a great pollinator. So only thing we'd probably tell you to do with this is that when the flower makes a bud and has all those little seeds that will float around, is that you just nip that thing off and throw it away. But we've got other types of milkweeds too that aren't nearly as invasive. Here's a swamp milkweed. Gets a little pink flower on it, and that's going to attract butterflies mid to late summer. Be a great plant for you, real tough and hardy. Look at some other ones here. We've got some great perennials. Now this is a Millennium Allium right here. It has that little pink flower on it. This is chive, so you could take little bits of this and stick it on your eggs in the morning or whatever you like to use chives for. But really tough, durable plants. It's called Millennium Allium. Here's a coreopsis called Zagreb. Now this one's just about ready to bloom. They'll get these intense gold flowers on it like you see here on the label. And this is one of the few perennials that will bloom almost all year long. So it's a great pollinator also. Okay, then we start looking at plants that bloom in the fall. Here's a phlox, tall phlox. They've done a lot with the breeding of tall phlox. Usually we have problems with powdery mildew on tall phlox. But some of these varieties that we're selling here now do not have much of a problem at all with that. So they're an attractive looking plant, and then late in the summer they'll have these gorgeous blooms, just outstanding blooms. We always get calls when the phlox start blooming. People ask, well, what is this plant? And we'll have to kind of think and look through it, and we'll discover that it's a phlox. Some shrubs also. Here's a Weigelia. It's got a trumpet-shaped flower. These will also attract hummingbirds because of their red trumpet-shaped flowers. More perennials. We've got lavender. This is a variety called Phenomenal. I'd probably advise planting this plant just a little bit deep. Try to get through the winter. It's a little bit less hardy. Another one that is gorgeous and kind of in the same boat as the lavender is the Buddleias. These are called butterfly bushes. And look at that. That's just a gorgeous flower. These things will bloom all year long. And once again, in our area, we recommend planting about 2 to 3 inches deep. Try to get a little mulch around them in the fall. Get some of those stems, some of that crown, a little more protection from that freezing and thawing we get late in December. And so just an awesome plant though. If you can get that to make it through the winter in a sunny spot, it'll reward you all year long with tons of blossoms, and it'll really attract the butterflies. Some more perennials. A couple more here. We got tall sedum. These bloom in the fall. Nice red blossoms. This one's called Mr. Goodbud. And then we've got black-eyed Susan. So this is a prairie plant, very good with doesn't have any blossoms on it. You can see it's a pretty plant when it's not blooming too. A few more perennials that we'll get to here. We've got catmint, it's another one that really attracts a lot of pollinators, and that's a tough plant. This one's called Persian Blue, and gets smaller than some of the other catmints you might have tried in the past, so it's not as likely to flop open. Yarrow also, this is good old moonshine yarrow. I always like the yellow varieties of yarrow. I think they just really add a spark to your landscape. A couple more here. We've got another tall phlox. We've talked about that one earlier, but this is another variety. It's a really bright pink variety. And then we've got some Monarda also. Monardas will have a little pink, usually pink to white to red flowers on them. And real tough little plant there too. Last one I wanted to show you was coneflower, and we're getting a few blossoms just starting on this thing here. But just a fun story about coneflower. Coneflower is also, its scientific name is echinacea, and you might be taking echinacea pills. I don't know, it's a big thing right now. I've heard people, a lot of things about echinacea tablets that you can get. It does something for you, I don't know what, but this is a neat plant. This is a spent flower from an older plant. And you see all these little seeds here, and what happens when these in the fall, they get really dark brown, and You can keep them up in the winter times for a little bit of interest. But Indians used to use these. So Indians also always carry these in their pack because echinacea, if you take one of these seeds, you have to try this in the fall, take one of these seeds from a brown seed head when it's dry, take it and chew it. And as you're chewing it, it'll make that part of your mouth numb. So Indians would use this for toothaches. They would carry them around in their packs wherever they went and always have them with them in case they got a toothache, and they would chew on this seed and it would make that part of their mouth numb. So hey, it's something you can try too. So well, that's all I've got now. Boy, we got tons of different types of pollinators. We even have some of the annuals that are pollinators too. Quick show you this before we go. We got some cosmos here. Cosmos gets pretty tall. Is this ready to get pretty tall too, Beth? You know? Yeah, usually they get pretty good size, but really beautiful. Kind of a meadow type of a look. We've also got some lantana here too, which is another good butterfly attractor. And of course the good old marigolds. Take a look at that. So add some of those annuals in amongst your pollinators and have season-long blooms with the summer, with blooms of the annuals that bloom all summer long too. So hey, we've got a lot of people out here, have a lot of knowledge base. We've got tons of people with horticulture degrees, a lot of people that can help you with things you might have, questions you might have. So come on out to Dell's Garden Center, check us out, and until next time, keep on believing, won't you? Thanks, bye.